Now to new developments in the war in Gaza. The Israeli military has announced a daytime pause in the fighting in a narrow strip of territory in the south to allow more aid to get in. And this morning, in a sign of new political tensions over the conduct of the war, Israeli Prime Minister, that's Benjamin Netanyahu, disbanded an influential decision-making group. Chris Livesay has that part of the story.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has dissolved his war cabinet, once a coalition of rivals meant to sow unity during the conflict in Gaza. That changed last week when Benny Gantz, the leading moderate opponent of the prime minister, resigned over the absence of a plan to govern Gaza after the war. Many have feared Netanyahu would now lurch towards the hard right, the linchpin of his remaining support. The shakeup comes after Israel announced a tactical pause in the fighting along 7.5 miles of road in the Rafah area during daylight hours to allow more aid. In Gaza and around the Muslim world, it's the Islamic holiday of Eid al-Adha. Muted for this displaced family, taking refuge in a stable. Our hearts break when we hear of people eating Eid sweets, this grandmother tells our CBS News team in Gaza. The Biden administration says Hamas is stalling a deal to release 120 remaining hostages in exchange for a ceasefire. But if this pause holds, it could at least address some of these overwhelming needs as Israeli forces pursue the remaining Hamas brigades in Rafah. In central Gaza, 9 people were killed overnight when a home was struck. Here, the tactical pause does not apply. The fighting goes on. Now, the war cabinet, now dissolved, was also built to bypass those far-right members of Benjamin Netanyahu's government. Well, sources tell CBS News those same far-right ministers will continue to stay outside of the day-to-day decision-making of the war. Gayle?
Chris Livesay reporting from Tel Aviv. We thank you.